patient in room 313 died at midnight. I was the nurse who covered his face. So why did he call me at 3:13 a.m.? I still ask myself that question every night. I took the night shift at St. Mercy Hospital because it paid more. Overtime pay, fewer supervisors, less noise. Everyone said night shifts were easy. Quiet money, they called it. No one ever explained why the position was always open. St. Mercy stood at the edge of a small town in Ohio, the kind of place people passed through but never stayed. Cornfields surrounded it on three sides, and a narrow two-lane road led to the highway miles away. At night, headlights rarely passed. When they did, the light slid across the hospital walls like something searching. During the day, the hospital felt normal. Bright lights, friendly chatter, beeping machines. But when the sun went down, the building changed. The hallway stretched longer. Sounds carried too far. Even your own footsteps didn't feel like they belonged to you. That night, the air felt wrong from the moment I walked in. Colder than usual, heavier. I signed in at 10:45 p.m. and checked the board. Only 6 patients in the entire building. No surgeries scheduled. No emergencies expected. The doctor on call was asleep at home, 20 minutes away, and I was the only nurse. Room 313 was at the top of my list. The patient's name was Walter Hayes, 72 years old. He'd been admitted 2 days earlier with severe cardiac complications. He didn't have family nearby, no visitors, just a man and a failing heart. When I entered his room at 11:30 p.m., he was awake. His eyes followed me as I checked the monitors. His breathing was shallow, uneven. Every breath looked like work. "You okay, Walter?" I asked softly. He nodded, then shook his head. "I don't think I'm going to make it through the night," he whispered. I told him what nurses always say, that he was safe, that help was close, that everything would be okay. He smiled faintly, like he knew I was lying. At 11:47 p.m., the heart monitor began to slow. I pressed the call button for assistance, even though I knew no one would come in time. I stood there holding his wrist, feeling his pulse weaken beneath my fingers. The monitor flatlined at exactly 12 a.m. The machine released a long, steady beep that echoed through the room. Time of death. I closed his eyes, pulled the sheet over his face, and whispered, "I'm sorry." 10 minutes later, 2 orderlies arrived. Together, we wheeled Walter's body down the hallway to the morgue. The wheels squeaked softly, the sound echoing off the walls. Room 313 was officially empty. I returned to the room alone. I unplugged the machines, straightened the bed, switched off the lights. Before leaving, I locked the door. I remember it clearly because I checked the handle twice. By 1:30 a.m., the hospital was silent. No footsteps, no voices, just the hum of fluorescent lights and distant machinery. I sat at the nurse's station, filling out paperwork, sipping coffee that had gone cold hours ago. The clock on the wall ticked loudly, every second stretching longer than the last. 2 a.m., nothing. 2:30 a.m., still nothing. That was when the silence started to feel heavy, like pressure. At 3:13 a.m., the call light panel lit up. Room 313. I froze. I stared at the board, convinced my eyes were playing tricks on me. Call systems malfunction sometimes. Old wiring, faulty sensors. I stood up, walked over, and reset the panel. The light turned off. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Then the phone rang. The sound cut through the quiet like glass breaking. I picked it up. Night nursing station, I said. Static filled the line, then breathing, slow, wet, strained. And then a voice whispered, "Nurse, I can't breathe." My hand tightened around the receiver. The voice was old, weak. I knew that voice. It was Walter's. I hung up. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it might tear out of my chest. I told myself it was exhaustion, stress, my mind replaying memories of the night. Then the call light blinked again. Room 313. This time it didn't stop blinking. I grabbed my flashlight and started down the hallway. Every step echoed too loudly. The lights flickered overhead, buzzing softly. Room 313 sat at the very end of the hall. The door was open. I stopped breathing. I knew I had locked it. I pushed the door wider. The room was empty. The bed was perfectly made, the sheets smooth, the machines unplugged. Then I saw the call button. It was resting neatly on the pillow. I hadn't left it there. My stomach dropped. Behind me, the hallway lights went out. Complete darkness. The phone rang again. This time it rang inside the room. I turned slowly. The bathroom door was cracked open. A pale light spilled out from inside. Something moved. Bare feet slid into view. They didn't touch the floor. They hovered.